Monday, December 14th. Friday morning dawned cold and overcast and very windy. After lunch, the sun finally came out. This cutout in the south sky deck will be a common area and will have 2 stories of window like the dining room. Scaffolding has come down on the atrium, and you can begin to see clearly the lines of the new building. Doors have been installed on the atrium to help prevent theft and trouble after hours. It rained hard Thursday night, and around the construction site is covered with puddles. Skytrack was in a big hurry to go get more prefabricated walls or trusses. Near door 10, the puddles were so wide they had to lay down pallets of wood to be able to step across. On the north side by C&M, crews are busy installing trusses. Clouds are still heavy on Friday. Elevator door openings and stairwell openings are clearly visible on the west side of the tower. It's good I love you guys, because the wind is something fierce today. In the courtyard by the pool, wind was threatening to pull the plastic off of its moorings around the Sandia patio. This trio seems to be rejoicing about the patch of snow on the grass to their right. Jan Hooper sent this picture today of crew installing windows in the fitness classroom into the black metal storefronts. When I zoomed in, to the right of the ladder is a narrower partition. This could be a door coming in from the sidewalk to the fitness classroom. Jan sent this picture to show that the 3rd floor window that looked out on the elevator shaft is now blocked as construction begins there. Above door 6 and 7, the crew says hey. Outside of the assisted living dining room, fresh concrete was poured today. Below the south sky deck, walls are being erected, and they are still fighting with scaffolding. On the Mikasa level, door frames have been brought in and will be soon attached to the prefabricated walls. Monday afternoon, it felt like I was in the Arctic with weather in the 30s. Silver truss support brackets have been installed so things don't shift side to side when you don't want them to. Down below the sky deck, there was quite a racket as this guy was trying to get scaffolding to let go. Skytrack's job today is to move heavy, gangly packages of trusses up onto the roof and not blotto anything as he goes around a corner. He's holding the rope himself, but it still seems to be swinging wildly as he tries to get ready to set it down. Looking through the concrete parking structure, I can see the metal studs that will be the hallway between it and the new wood shop. Doc, the healthcare foreman, sent me pictures of the new flooring. It will be glued down carpet that looks like wood. Crews are making great progress. Today I saw a truck offloading huge pallets of more flooring. How different the flooring looks with light pouring in one of the healthcare rooms. Administrative offices will have carpet squares with a more tweed-looking pattern. Thanks to PJ and Olin Thompson, sounds of the season will be heard in the chapel atrium.
Hi there. We begin this week with independent living. There's nothing much new on the tower this week, but there's still some work to do framing around the base of the tower. Look, they're just starting to install particle board flooring for the next level, and there's Skyjack bringing more particle board. This has clearly been the week of the truss. Can you count the number of trusses? Hi, this is John Brayer. It's Wednesday, December 12th. It's sunny and 38 degrees. And as we come around the east end of the independent living building, we can see that there are a lot of materials piled up alongside the building. Those appear to be mostly prefab framing, I think for the next level. As we come up on the roof here by the cooling towers, look at those two guys standing there looking over the whole scene. How do I get that job? Finally, we come up on the elevator tower here. Not much going on, but it's kind of a nice view to look at. Next, we're going to jump over to the assisted living building, and we're going to start at the west end. Whoa, watch out for that crane. What was that doing there? There's lots of haphazard lumber and non-prefab framing on the west end, and the east end looks much the same as it did last week. But there's lots of work that's been done to fill in the framing on the first floor. As we come around and look at the lobby area, we can see that it all looks pretty much the same. Most of the work is going on inside. There seems to be carpeting and flooring work going on. We're now going to fly around and see the back side. This is the sort of boring part of our flight every week. And if we're really careful and look very closely, we can see that a lot of the stuccoing has been done on one of the walls on the back side. But what about the other one? I want my stuccoing on that wall too. As we fly along west along the north wall, we're going to come up and eventually see what the crane has been doing. And we'll see that it has been erecting pillars on the bump out area on the west end. They look like skinny little pillars. See you next week.
Thursday, December 17th. On Friday, the sun struggled to come through the clouds. And it snowed for a while, and the wind blew. Below my window, workers are scrambling to clear off pieces of scaffolding. 2x4s and framing are coming their way. Workers then moved up above and were loading Skytrack with all sorts of weird-shaped pieces. I was wondering how they were going to get that wheelbarrow to balance when the Skytrack starts moving. Finally, the sky deck is relatively clear, and they can begin framing the solarium. Down below, workers are stacking the Lego pieces and sky deck to be carried to their next location. Skytrack will make many trips to clear out this area. Workers are measuring and verifying the metal plates that have been sunk into the concrete. Always the question, is it level? Red steel is being welded onto the concrete for the assisted living solarium. Once the vertical pieces are securely in place, then the big horizontal beams are delivered, and they scramble to get in the orange cart to go up high. I know it's not kind to laugh, and as I watched, the worker in green said, "Hand me some of those bolts." Guy in orange threw them to him, and he dropped it. So he scooted back, and they tried again, hand to hand. I told this crew I'm not their mother or their grandmother, but I'm getting gray hairs with all this standing and climbing up high business. Then they moved up to the next level, which is about 30 feet in the air, and worked on bolting the cross beam to the upright poles. Second beam was pivoting around in the wind, and I was concerned it was going to knock him off his perch. Finally, when it looked like the last few lag bolts were in place, I could take a big sigh of relief. Way down below in the maintenance level, I can see that framing has begun there also. Jan Hooper sent this picture of the windows in the fitness classroom. She said they're pretty reflective, and it does look like there's a door on the far right. Below our apartment, we heard a roaring of an engine and looked down to find Skytrack maneuvering very carefully around the corner of the sky deck to get wood up to the framers, who are going through it at a mad pace. Trusses are being delivered by a tall crane. I think they're pretty much the same on both sides, but this one had to spin totally around before the guy on top accepted that it was in the right position. After a lot of yelling and some hand signals, the crane began to lower it into the correct place. Throughout the day, many more bundles of trusses were delivered and laid safely across the top of the prefabricated walls. I took a shower and came back and found that they were putting the stairs into the lower maintenance level. This worker had a 2x4 pushed against the steel, waiting for somebody down below to bolt it or weld it. Many years ago, Don and I adopted a young couple named Crystal and Adrian Espinosa. Since we have always called them our kids, this week when they gave birth to their baby daughter, Naomi Hart, we became honorary grandparents. I'm already planning how I can take the presents I bought up to their house and peer in the window and look at this sweet baby girl. However you are finding to celebrate this holiday season, I just hope you and your family can find joy together.